Well, hello everyone. Welcome. Welcome back. Today's day 66 of our continued reading of Elsie Lincoln Benedict's book, How to Get Anything You Want. Ding. All right. We are continuing. I do that because I try to find a thumbnail. Because this face, I'm very animated if you haven't seen yet, and it's hard to find a thumbnail that's not dramatic and me doing some weird face. All right, so we are continuing this. This was so good yesterday. My goodness. We talked about the basement, the penthouse, the different frequencies. Where do we frequent? What moods are we in? She has taught us very well thus far about, our predominant moods make our life. How do we change our moods? What do we truly want? How do we set our gauges? How do we contact our subconscious mind, start working with it? And how do we prepare for what we want? We are on lesson 5. If you missed any of the previous readings, there is a playlist, 66 other videos, well, 65 other videos, because this is video 66 on YouTube. So if you're on Facebook, hop on over to YouTube. We are growing our community. And I'm so grateful that you're here. You are interested in books and learning and positivity. And I kind of read this easy breezy. I don't take it too serious. I share some stories. I teach a little bit. I keep it light. I keep it real. Okay. I'm going to start a show that says, you know what? I effed up so you don't have to. I've messed up. I've gone through all the silly, silly willy things so you don't have to, right? When I was 25, not that I was even looking for help because I didn't think I needed help. I wish I had just found, and I'm sure there was plenty of beautiful teachers that were willing and ready to help and could help me, but I was not open for the help, and that was my problem. So I always say if I could go back in time and change anything, what would I do? I would ask for help. I would get a teacher. I would get a community to support me. That's what I would do. Okay. So I'm just setting the gauges here so we can get this party started. All right. So we left off, we're going through the different rules. Oh, she left off on the story yesterday of that woman who said she wanted so badly to become like a missionary for the Christian faith. But she never was raised with Christianity around her. She really didn't know the Bible. And she felt inadequate around all the other students that were going after this lifestyle, this career, this, I don't even know if you would call it a career, a vocation to be a missionary and just minister the faith, the Christian faith she wanted to. And Elsie Lincoln Benedict told her, go to the YWCA seminar or college and just soak in the information, just listen. And the girl said, why? Like, why would I go there? And Elsie Lincoln Benedict is telling her, when you want to do something, you have to truly love it. Put yourself in situations and around people who are into it and just soak it in. Go to the conferences, go to the seminars, go to the lunch places, just surround yourself with the people. And she said, if you're unwilling to do that, if it seems like a chore, if it seems like, oh, that's boring, maybe that's not what you truly, truly want. And so this woman did. She's about to tell us another story about somebody else. She said, another example is as far removed from the one before with the girl as could well be imagined, but is an equally clear illustration of the fact the subconscious preparation for a thing is needful regardless of what the thing may be. That's what she's teaching us. We are going to prepare our mind for success. Are you preparing your mind for success? What are you thinking? Are you preparing your mind for success? She says that success comes to those who prepare for her. And if we are always in worry, doubt, and fear, not ever thinking that success is going to come to us, that it only comes to other people, success will not feel welcome in our energy, in our world. So, preparing for success, she's going to tell us a different story. So, the subconscious mind has to prepare for success. It will also show the amount and intensiveness of preparation you should make to get any particular thing will depend on how far you are removed from it to start with. Okay, so she said, it will also show that the amount And intensiveness of preparation you should make to get any particular thing will depend on how far you are removed from it to start with. As a young Norwegian servant girl of intelligence, but of little education, of good character but crude personality, told me the one thing she wanted most of all was to marry well, preferably some American of means, education, and refinement, and to have a lovely child. That this young woman, ambitious, intelligent, and beautiful in character though she was, had a long way to go to prepare for such marriage, you will agree. She had practically to remake her personality and acquire an education. Within 5 years after her arrival in this country, and within 4 years after she applied by instructions, this young woman would who could not speak a word of our language when she landed, who knew nothing about our ways, customs, or standards, had mastered English, attained a good education, developed a pleasant personality, and acquired a successful young husband and a beautiful baby boy. Well, there you go. Arnold Schwarzenegger talks about this too when he came over here and he was taking acting classes and bodybuilding and learning English, and everybody said he would never succeed in anything. He was too big to be in the movies and his accent was too thick, and he actually followed Napoleon Hill's definite chief aim formula from the book. You can look it up online. Bruce Lee did that too. But I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. He follows these principles and he is living proof. It's a beautiful this story, right? So, wow, good for this woman, this Norwegian girl. To the people who had known her as a servant girl only 5 years before, her brilliant marriage was no doubt a mystery, but not to us who also knew the laws. She had taken herself and her big desire seriously. She had studied the very rules you are at this moment reading, and she applied them incessantly, uninterruptedly, earnestly, uninterruptedly. Wow. So I'm even thinking of myself and some certain goals, and I'm like, girl, how bad do you want it? How uninterruptedly and incessant are you being with your goals, Carla? So it says this girl had taken herself and her big desire seriously. She had studied the very rules you are at this moment reading, and she applied them incessantly, uninterruptedly, and earnestly. Nothing is impossible to the subconscious mind of the ambitious woman or man. Rule number 4, make your preparations as complete, headed up and running over as you can. Never be afraid of building too strong a foundation. When rewards are slow in coming, or when those attained are not as great as you had expected, rest assured that insufficient preparation is partly, if not wholly, the cause. So when rewards are slow in coming, or when those attained are not as great as you expected them, like when you ain't getting any results, she's saying, rest assured that insufficient preparation is a part, if not all, of the reason why you're getting those results. As soon as your preparations are adequate, as soon as you have really done your part, the results will begin to come. Don't be discouraged. Don't slide back and give up. Don't slump and say, oh, what's the use? Maybe there's nothing in this anyhow. Instead, get a new grip on yourself. Go on with your preparations and you will see. So if it's like when you fall off the wagon, if you said you were going to go to the gym every day and you didn't, uh, don't give up. Tomorrow's a new day. Don't beat yourself up. Time is going to pass anyway, whether you're doing it or not. Yeah. So get a grip on yourself. It is precisely because the law of preparation is eternal, impersonal, and accurate that superficial, slipshod, prepare for what you want. So it is precisely because the law of preparation is eternal, impersonal, and accurate that superficial, slipshod, prepare for what you want. Oh, wow. I didn't finish that sentence. This book has a lot of errors, I'm not gonna lie. Um, there's a lot of misspellings, and I'm reading this live here. So, and sometimes the sentence is broken up. The paragraph is a little wonky, and some words are like mushed together. Anyways, okay, so let me read that again. It is precisely because the law of preparation is eternal, impersonal, and accurate that superficial, slipshod, prepare for what you want preparations never accomplish much. That's so true. Are you reactive or are you proactive? Are you reactive or are you proactive? Do you prepare? Do you make plans? Are you working with the law? Thoughtful, serious, earnest preparation is short. Real preparation always brings the desired result. Let me read that again. Thoughtful, serious, earnest preparation, in short, real preparation, always brings the desired results or better ones. Oh, I love that. She uses the word real all caps and always all caps. Thoughtful, putting thought to it. Thoughtful, not thoughtless, not whimsy, just going by the seat of your pants, not half-assed, not winging it, right? Of course, there's always times to do that, but not consistently for things that you really want in life. Thoughtful, serious, earnest preparation, other words, real preparation, always brings the desired results or better ones. The following illustrates the law of adequate preparation in a very graphic way. It is from the lips of Harriet Luella McCollum, who lived on a Kansas farm till past middle age, yet who is today one of the most fluent, entertaining, inspiring, and helpful lecturers in the world. She says, my own work will illustrate the road which you may have to travel, no matter what line of endeavor you may have chosen or you may choose or have chosen. Before I entered public work, I was using the formula to develop an ability to do the work I had chosen, teaching psychology. A woman after my own heart. I was timid, nervous, reticent, retiring, dreaded public opinion, either in praise or condemnation. But I realized that if I was to do the work successfully, which my higher self said I should do, I would have to reserve my psychology. I would have to reverse my psychology, and I did so. After sufficient preparation, as I thought, I went into a town, advertised my lecture, and otherwise prepared for it. I expected at least 500 people to attend. To my consternation, when I arrived at the lecture hall at the appointed hour, only 3 women were there, seated in the front row. No more came in. Ooh, girl, well, that's confidence to think 500 people would attend. Bob Proctor tells a story about how he rented this huge hall for like 2,000 people and like 5 people came. That's happened to me. That has happened to me, not in real life, but on like Zoom calls. I've had one person show up. I give it them their all. I said, girl, you getting a one-on-one. Like, it is what it is. And yes, it's hard, but you get over it real quick. It's all about attitude, right? It's like when I decided to do the social media thing. I don't think anybody liked half of my stuff. I mean, I have almost 800 videos on here. Like, I'm just doing it. I don't care. Of course I do. I hope, right? It reaches people, but I'm going to do it anyway, regardless who shows up. Okay. So this woman, wow. She lived on a small farm in Kansas. She wanted to public speak, but she was afraid of what people would say. And she realized that her higher self was telling her she needed to do this. So she had to reverse her psychology. She prepared, she advertised. She expected 500 people, but only 3 people came in. She said 3 people, that was my entire audience. I slipped into a little room alone and asked myself if I should give the lecture or quit right then. The answer came. 3 are as important as 300. Do your best. That's so true. And I did. To make it businesslike, I took up a collection. I told my audience of 3 that we would have another lecture that night and asked them to bring their friends. They brought two others. My audience was increasing. I had five. My combined collections amounted to 30 cents, exactly what I was worth. I had not prepared sufficiently. My life has been a long story of earnest endeavor, never giving way to discouragement. I constantly endeavor to realize my ideal. I always keep in mind that someday it shall be realized, and do not fret because the way is too long, for the bliss of growth is one of the big joys of life. That's so true. Like when you really want something, your heart of hearts, just go for it. There will be times where you fall flat on your face, you're embarrassed, you're, you know, scared, but it's so worth it. And it'll go away. Like the pain will go away, the fear will go away. My hair is so long. I'm getting it trimmed on Friday. I'm gonna get my highlights back in it. It's been a long time. Anyways, okay, back to business. And when even small progress can be discerned, one is encouraged to push on toward the goal. Among the benefits of working toward a goal is not only the satisfaction of successful performance and the good accruing from it, but also the development of a well-rounded personality. Many people of less energy and courage have called this woman lucky, but they should spell it with a P if they expect to find one of the reasons for her big success. I'm not sure what she means. Many people of less in energy and courage have called this woman lucky, but they should spell it with a P if they expect to find one of the reasons for her big success. Persistence, is that what it is? Rule number 5, don't try to win what you want by waiting on luck. Frederick D. Underwood, president of Erie Railroad, recently said, sometimes there may be a little in what the world calls luck, but don't wait for it. It comes but rarely and never holds very long. That's the truth. That is the truth. A discussion as old as time has been waged around this question of luck. Those on the outside are inclined to say a man's success is due to luck, but those on the inside, those who really know the man, will tell you he made his own luck. That is the truth. Good luck that comes frequently and makes itself at home is always homemade. Bad luck of the chronic kind is always home brewed, and the still, like most others, is out of your sight. Oh, like the still, the brewing. Yep. Yeah. Luck Luck says Luck says a prominent writer has a way of favoring the prepared. So luck has a way of favoring the prepared. It may give you a start, but it can never take you far. In the long haul, it is one's own power that has to do the work. We must do that work. All the luck in the world can't do much for the man who hasn't got ready for it in advance. The man who is known as a preparer is always lucky. Woolworth, creator of more than 1,005 and 10-cent stores and a multimillionaire, said, so Woolworth, creator of more than 1,005 and dime, 10, Carla. Wow. Okay. Take 3. Woolworth, creator of more than 1,005 and 10-cent stores and a multimillionaire, said, there are more opportunities in the world today than ever before. The door of opportunity is open to everyone, and no one can close this door but one's own self. No matter where we are, we can create our own opportunity, and we do so most surely and swiftly by preparing for it. Nothing can then keep it away. Nothing can keep our luck away if we prepare for it. All right, let's read one more together. Rule 6. No matter how dark the prospects or how unattainable your desires seem to be now, go straight ahead making your preparations. She says that in all caps. So, no matter how dark the prospects may be or how unattainable your desires are to you right now, go straight ahead and make your preparations anyway. Let me tell you a love story. Some years ago, when I was still seeing students in private consultations, a teacher, 32 years old, told me her story and her desire for a home and a husband. I have no opportunities to meet men, she said. When one associates only with children, one does not have the chances for matrimony that come to business or professional women. For economy's sake, I live at the YWCA, and there doesn't seem to be any modest way to make the acquaintance of eligible men. Some of my teacher friends had successful marriages, and many of the business girls I know are happily married. But I'm probably destined to be just one of those old maid school teachers. I took her over the very same ground we had covered in these lessons, explaining to her how these laws could be made to bring her the things she most wanted. When we reached this stage, the law of preparation, I asked her if she had ever made any real plans or preparations for finding or winning a mate. Of course not, she replied. Why should I? There has been none in sight and no prospect of any. Why waste my time? This is exactly where you are wrong. There is one thing that is never a waste of time, that cannot be lost, that always brings its rewards, and that thing is preparation. They talk about this in feng shui and energy. Like if you are single and you want to mate, like sleep on a certain side of the bed, clean out the closet, so making room for your mate. Like there's little things you can do, like set the table for two. You know what I mean? Like it's little things like this. I mean, do whatever is comfortable to you, but there's things like that, drawing in the energy to you. All right. So this woman was saying, I don't prepare for a relationship. It's a waste of time. And Elsie's saying, no, girl, there's something that is never a waste of time, and it's called preparation. Don't you realize that you are, as a matter of fact, always getting ready for something, and that when you are not doing anything toward what you want, you are by idleness, wrong moods, disbelief, pessimism, and other things, really preparing to keep the condition you don't want. That's the truth. We unconsciously do it. Again, not to beat ourselves up, but that's why this material is so powerful. What do you want? Are you preparing for it? Are you believing it? Or are you just remaining idle and saying, no, I don't do all that work, Carla. That's just for, well, you're doing work in the direction of what you don't want. You're continuing to perpetuate your current results. And I'm talking to myself. It's so powerful. So we are preparing with every single thought. Don't you realize, as a matter of fact, you're always getting ready for something. We're keeping the condition that we don't want if we are not purposefully focusing on what we do want. Just what shall I do then? The lady asked, to prepare for what I want. First of all, begin to visualize yourself in the role of a happily married woman, and never from this moment allow yourself to dwell on the picture of yourself as an old maid school teacher. It's like the whole fear of like growing old and alone, but we just can't take our eyes off of that, like this woman. And then you end up old and alone, you know? It's like the thing I feared has come upon me. It's the idea of like thinking about your conscious awareness as like the headlight on your bike. And if you've ever ridden a motorcycle or a bicycle with like a little light on it, wherever you move the handlebars is where the headlight will go, right? And wherever you move the handlebars, the bike is going to go. Wherever the headlight is pointed is where you're going to go. And so if you are riding your bike in the dark and the headlight is shining on a big tree, if you do not move the steering wheel, you're going to run right into that big tree. And that's like it's like one of those like you can't keep your eyes off of what you fear because it's like, oh my God, I can't take my eyes on it. It's like what's it called? Like a train wreck. It's so like alluring. We think by looking at it, we're gonna like protect ourselves from it, but we end up running right into the thing that we fear the most because it's what's taking up our mind. So if you don't want to end up old and alone, if you don't want to end up poor, if you don't want to end up feeling a lack of purpose in your life, like don't entertain those things. What do you want? What kind of relationship do you want? What kind of financial situation do you want? What kind of career do you want? What kind of health do you want? We do it all the time. I've done this, as I'm my fitness journey. Like there's always, I love my body, but there's things that I want to always improve. And I love a good challenge I want to be my best. I want to feel my prime, right? My best that I could be. But every time, like if I look in the mirror, I see myself or weigh myself and I'm not there yet, like I will, like just, like the feeling, right? And I have to shake myself and say, no, what do I want? Envision myself exactly how I want. Continue doing what I'm doing. Don't like be like, screw it. I'm going to go get, you know, cheese fries or whatever. I'm going to stick with it. So she's saying, from this moment forward, don't allow yourself to dwell on the picture of yourself as an old maid school teacher. This is one of the greatest psychological laws. All achievement is built in your mind first. This is one of the great psychological laws. All achievement is built in your mind first. Your thoughts and visualizations are your mental blueprints. Without these mental images, no great thing ever materialized. Just as a skyscraper is the tangible actualization of the mental pictures which existed originally only in the mind of the architect, your every tangible possession is the result of visualization. I love her. I say it all the time. She just, look at my poor nail. Yes, I mentioned it yesterday. Anyways, I love her so much. So your thoughts and visualizations are your mental blueprints. Without these mental images, no great things ever materialize. Just as a skyscraper is the tangible actualization of the mental pictures which existed originally only in the mind of the architect and then on the blueprints. My every tangible possession is the result of visualization, where I put my energy, attention, and focus. In other words, make your plans. Second, make your preparations. And by this, I mean the very preparations you would make if you were engaged right now. Don't neglect one. Go right ahead precisely as you would if you expected to marry within a year. Like, I don't know how many times, my God, cars, a certain car, go test drive it. Go get your favorite keychain that you're going to put your key on. Like, if you want to move, start boxing up your house, right? Go look at new apartments or homes. If you want to get married, like go buy a wedding album, right? Like that's what she's saying. Have fun with it. That's why back in the day, like the old version, or people still do this, of like vision boards, but like even more powerful because they're tangible items. They called them hope chests. People had the hope chests where they would put all of their hopes, like baby clothes and little baby shoes and veils, like for men. I don't know what men did. Maybe, I don't know if hope chests are just for women, but they would put little trinkets and symbols of things that they would use in their future. That's so cool. So she's saying, go ahead, precisely. Act like you would if you were expecting to get married within a year. Even to starting a, oh my God, this is so crazy. What's the next sentence? Even to starting a hope chest, she laughed. Yes, even to the hope chest. Only make it extra beautiful, extra complete, and as perfect in every way as you can. Look at, we're on the same frequency. I didn't even see that. So this woman said, should I start a hope chest? And Elsie said, yes. Even to the hope chest, make it extra beautiful, extra complete, and as perfect in every way as you can. Won't all this time and money and effort be wasted? She insisted. I believe in saving every cent I can. Don't stop with the hope chest. Begin to use some of the money you have at interest in the bank for a few pretty clothes, not expensive, extravagant ones, but dainty, modest, womanly looking things. Not many of them necessarily, but enough to avoid monotony. She could see how the clothes might help, but refused to spend all that work and money on an old hope chest that no one would ever see. Why, I know a lot of girls that get married without ever having thought of a hope chest, she said. And so do I told her, and you might. I'm only telling you how to do your part, and then some. Good measure and running over, if you want the quickest, surest results. People who are in earnest leave nothing undone. This accounts for their always getting more and getting it faster than others. 3 years went by, and I returned to lecture in her city. The young woman changed almost beyond belief. Called, she called to see me. She looked 10 years younger and was much happier, though she still had no prospects, she said. Her clothes were attractive, and she confided, a much larger bank account than when she had seen me last. Every school boards and principals prefer attractively attired teachers, she explained. I've done everything you told me except about that awful hope chest, she laughed. And if you still insist, I am now ready to do even that. I do not insist, and I do not say it is impossible for you to achieve your big desire without it. Certainly you are on the road, I answered, but it would help. Not of itself so much, but because it will do all kinds of things to you. It will crystallize things you are not now aware of at all. Just try it and see. And she did. The story of that hope chest, it reads like a novel. To begin with, it helped her to visualize and brought out vividly the pictures that had seemed vague and far away before. It kept her concentrated on all sorts of preparations she would never have made otherwise. It brought the same picture to the mind of her friends, all of whom were curious naturally and became more so when she refused to make any explanation to them. Pretty soon, everybody who knew her was saying, Margaret's getting ready to be married. Isn't it lovely? And it must be to somebody wonderful to look at the exquisite things in her hope chest. What shall I tell them when they insist on knowing when I'm going to get married? She wrote me. Tell them, I answered, that it will be as soon as your chest is full. Months passed, and Margaret's engagement became the mystery of the day. As such, it naturally monopolized much of the thought and conversation of her friends. What shall I do if it doesn't appear? She finally wrote me 6 months after the chest was started. I know I shall die of chagrin. I will have to resign my position. I couldn't stay here a day. If anyone should find this out, please write me what to do, Margaret said. Stop showing the white feather, I wired. That was 7 months ago. Recently, I received this letter. You may read it over my shoulder. This is from Margaret. I am on my honeymoon at Lake Louise, a most heavenly spot in the Canadian Rockies, with the nicest husband. How it happened was this. I attended a series of psychology lectures to brace me up and remind me of your teachings. There I met a splendid young businessman who was interested in just the same things I am. We used to sit together in the classes. When they were over, he called on me regularly. Finally, friends told him I was engaged, and he said, that is something I am well aware of, for I'm the man. You see, I told him all about it as so as so he asked me to marry, and so he asked me to marry him. And instead of being delusioned, he said he admired my thoroughness. We later told my friends. They laughed a lot, but I noticed several of the girls busy on fine embroidery lately just the same. That's so good. Oh man, I love that. I'm inspired. I am inspired by this. Are you inspired by this? It makes me want to double down on what I'm working towards. And it's exciting and it gives me hope. We all just need hope and encouragement for what we want. If you desire it, it's an option. If you desire, it's a viable option in your life. You just have to choose it and work towards it. It's like it's in the room with you. It's an option. You can walk over and get it, but the walk over and get it might be different things, metaphorically speaking. I really like that. You know what? I just wanted to share this. I started taking this. I love Dr. Amen. He does that brain MD supplements. And I just started taking this Happy Saffron Plus. I mean, I'm like, I don't get anything from this, but I just wanted to share this. I've heard a lot about saffron and I've never taken it before, but Happy Saffron Plus. You take 3 pills a day. It helps with mood and cognition, healthy sexual function, memory, energy and focus, and appetite control. Oh, I didn't know that. It has zinc in it. I don't know, something I think it's working. I've been taking it for like 4 days now. I like it. Look into that. Anyways, I wanted to share that. I hope you're having a beautiful Monday. It's only Monday, cheese and crackers. And if you are interested in working with me in any way, all of my links are below. This month, I am launching a lot of cool new things. My release to receives, my one-to-ones, the therapeutic coaching. I'm going to be opening up a community in April with live classes to join. I have the human design branding, also the human design foundational readings to know about your human design. It changed my life. And branding. So if like to really know your brand, like who are you? If you want to show up in the world, if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, a therapist, a coach, it's how you show up in this world, like your authentic brand, how you speak, how you show up with people. So I'm really enjoying doing those for people, coaches mostly. Um, and has been a game changer for me too. It helps you with all of your messaging and just feeling confident in who you are, you know? It's we can feel a little imposter syndrome or like, what do I have to give? What's special about me? And this just takes all the guessing work away. It really does. It's really great. It's like a love letter to yourself. So, anyways, I hope you're having a beautiful evening, a beautiful day, night, wherever you are. Again, all the ways to reach me are below in this description box. Thank you for your support. We will continue on this journey together, y'all. It's already been 2 full months. We're going into our third month every day. And again, all the previous readings are on this playlist, Elsie, Lincoln, Benedict, How to Get Anything You Want. This is number 66. Tomorrow's number 67. See you mañana.